Yes, hello, Jerry Jones. Hi, this is Giuseppe calling. I'm calling to apply for your defensive coordinator position because it can't get much worse.
Glory be to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever. Welcome to Dynamite Duo Sports, the podcast where we break down and debate all the NFL's top storylines with the facts, including the fact that every NFL team wants to know how much it costs to get zero penalties in a game. I'm Giuseppe.
I'm Antonius.
And today we are going to be breaking down what was NFL Week 6. And there are some good games, some games that brought joy to my heart, some games that crushed my soul. And you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, yeah. The Cowgirls. Impressive.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with you calling half of their team the Cowgirls. But, yeah. So let's not waste any time. So we got Thursday night football this past week. We had the Giants taking down the Eagles. 34.
No, not just taking down, crushing them.
34-17. We're going to talk more about that game later. Then we had our second game in London.
I'm so sorry, London.
I mean, at least they've all been close games, so it's been exciting at the end, I guess. Broncos taking down the Jets 13-11. I was this close to having to buy that Jalen Hurts t-shirt, but didn't have to. Yeah, definitely way too close. Broncos offense needs to wake up, basically. Like, they only had basically a decent game against the Chargers, then good quarter against the Eagles
The
this
big
year.
thing about the game, though, is Broncos defense is scary. -10 net passing yards is insane.
Yeah, their defense is really, really good. And Jets,
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to tell you anymore. Then we got the Seahawks taking down the Jaguars 20-12. Darnold had a pretty solid game. Then JSN is definitely turning into a superstar wide receiver before our very eyes. And then I'm starting to wonder a little bit, was the Jags game against the Chiefs a fluke? Or was it just that the Seahawks are good? We'll find out. Then you had the Ravens losing to the Rams 17-3. Rams had a slow start in the first half. Nakua went down with a high ankle sprain, I believe is what it is. He's going to be out
Probably for a couple weeks.
A few weeks. Ravens have almost no hope. If you get Lamar Jackson back and you start outscoring everybody, then maybe you have a shot. But
based off your schedule, my guess is the best you can do with Lamar coming back is like 10-7. But that's really stretching it.
Which you would definitely take.
Yeah. So, and even then, depending on how all the teams play by the end of the season, that might not be enough.
Yep. Then the Colts take down the Cardinals in a closer game than we thought was going to happen, mostly due to the fact that in pregame warmups, Tre'Davious Ward, their top corner for the Colts, ran into his tight end and had a concussion, so he was not able to play.
I also heard that he might be out next week as well. So that will be that's good for the Chargers, but bad for the Colts. So.
Yeah, so 31-27. Also, another question I have is Kyler Murray the problem in Arizona?
Well, another thing I would say is sometimes when a backup comes in last second, your defensive strategy you had prepared for someone like Kyler has to change. So that's why sometimes backups do well in their first game because you don't think your defense isn't ready for a different kind of quarterback. Yeah. So that could be it too.
And then also on top of that, Jacoby Brissett has played for the Colts before. He knows a lot of those guys.
Right.
So, Colts beat Cardinals 31-27. Then you had the Chargers taking down the Dolphins 29-27, in which it was a game of the comebacks. First the Chargers came back, then the Dolphins came back, and then the Chargers came back again to kick a field goal to win.
Chargers, just get healthy. Get healthy. That's what I got to say about the game. Get healthy.
Yeah, that's all I can say for the Chargers.
Defense, Khalil Mack, because you lost Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack was hurt. This game definitely showed how important Khalil Mack is for the pressure on the defensive line.
Yep. And then also, Tua's comments after the game, like, players aren't showing up to players-only means, or they're late for player-only means, like, dude.
Those aren't...
Player-only meetings aren't meetings. They are signed to desperation. So how many meetings are you having?
Yeah, it's crazy. But, yeah, sorry, Dolphins.
Good.
You guys are a mess.
Then we had the Panthers
beating the Cowgirls
30-27.
We'll talk about that later, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then We got the Steelers taking down the Browns 23-9. Steelers, basically, their offense just played mistake-free football. Didn't force
It
anything.
was clean, consistent offense. And fun fact, guess who was an offense that played like that?
The Patriots.
The Patriots.
Tom
Not
Brady.
amazing, but consistent and clean.
Yep.
That's why Tom Brady was great.
And another reason why they can do that is because their defense is starting to step it up a little bit.
I've heard
Now, it's against inferior competition for the most part.
I have heard rumors. I don't know if it'll be true. Maybe it'll happen that they are trying to eye AJ Brown, and if they do get him, Steelers going Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Crazy to say.
Unless he's just another
This-
Antonio Brown for their locker room.
True. This season though is their division to lose right now
for sure. And then as far as the Browns, like your defense, it did what it could. The Steelers just didn't give you anything to take advantage of. Gabriel, I think that the offensive
I think it shows
coordinator
promise. Yeah, it's just bad
needs
offensive
to
coordinating.
call deep shots for him because at the end of the first half, instead of taking 2 shots at the end zone, decided to do a dump off
Well,
and
he
then
did
take
throw
a shot
one.
at the end zone.
And it
It's like
it was close.
what?
Like the receiver could have caught it, but it was a hard pass.
What I'm saying is that
catch,
you should have had one more chance before that pass, but to try
Yeah.
to do that. So, yeah. So I would just say Browns coaching staff probably very much on the hot seat. And I do think we are going to see Shador at some point for the Browns. So there's that.
We'll see.
Then we got the Patriots taking down the Saints 25-19 in a game where, besides maybe the Chiefs game this week, had some of the worst officiating I have ever seen.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Like offensive pass interference on a player that's like 10 yards away from the play. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
It was absolutely ridiculous.
Where there should have also been a defensive holding. Let's see, what else?
Let's just say, besides from the fact that the refs were bad, that Drake May looks like a Tom Brady with legs. And that's scary.
That's very scary.
Very scary. And I think Mike Vrabel is going to be their head coach for a pretty long time. And I think Drake May is also going to be their quarterback for a pretty long time.
Yep.
So now we're going to go to the 4 o'clock game, starting off with the Titans-Raiders. Raiders winning 20-10. There was a chance for Titans to win, but, they played really sloppy. Raiders are also not a very good team, but ultimately they came out with the win in the end. Genty looked solid. Gino only threw 1 pick, so wow. But,
Yay, progress.
Callahan was fired. That's the good thing. So maybe next year we can have a rebound. 49ers lost to the Buccaneers 19-30. Baker Mayfield, after all those hurt wide receivers, coming back and winning. We'll talk about that later. Then the Bengals playing the Packers. The Packers winning 27-18. A little close for comfort, but they came out in the end. I think ultimately Micah is having a big effect, though, because if you've seen all the holdings, the legal use of hands and all that, you can definitely see that he's having good effect with them, even though he's not getting the sacks. The Lions losing to the Chiefs, or I should say the refs, 30-17. We'll talk about that later. And the Bills losing to the Falcons, 14-24.
What the heck happened, Buffalo?
You guys are in trouble because either,
no.
either your offense is good or your defense is good, and it's they both can't be good right now. And that's a concern.
Not only are you in trouble, the rest of the NFL's in trouble because if the Chiefs are getting help from the referees and they're getting Rashee Rice back,
they're going to come back.
We're screwed.
Yeah, so the only people we're hoping on right now, which is weird to say, is the Colts and Steelers.
And the Patriots.
And Patriots, who are looking really good.
I believe you, New England.
Yeah, and then we have the Bears coming out, being the Commanders on a wet game with the last-second field goal by, who'd have thought, Jake Moody.
That wasn't on my bingo card.
Not on anyone's bingo card. The Commanders kind of were going to win that game, then it started raining, and then they had the fumble. And at the end of the day, what matters is who wins. So you can't make mistakes like that, and that's what happened in the game. The Bears, they still look the same to me, but they look like average.
A competent
average team is what they look like. Which could be enough. Who knows? A lot of teams that are collapsing right now, we could see it in the future. But it does surprise me how the game went. But those are the rest of the games from Week 7 of the NFL.
All right, now let's get into my favorite game of the week.
The only game that you probably the
Buccaneers game was good. But anyway, Yeah, the
The one game that
Eagles
comforts you.
losing to the Giants
Not just
34
losing. Come on, we got
to 17.
crushing.
I thought that this was going to be the
Crushing.
score of the game. Just not that way. Just the other way around. That was.
Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Eagles before the Giants, though. We'll save the best for last. Well, actually, for me, both of them are the best. So, anyway, Jalen Hurts had a solid game. 24 out of 33 passing, 283 passing yards with a touchdown and a tush-push touchdown, which we'll talk about.
I think
that.
the ultimate thing about the Eagles, though, it's the same thing as we said last week. It's like you ran with Saquon like almost 10 times in the first half. They only ran him like four times in the second half.
2 times.
You were keeping the game close, and then all of a sudden, second half, you decide to not run Saquon when he was being very successful at it. So I don't think the problem is Saquon right now not playing well. I think it's the fact that, again, their offensive coordinator has got to go. If they lose again next week, he has to go. That's my take. Honestly, because Jalen Hurts has shown that he can throw it, but that's not their strength.
Honestly, after this game, I think the team that should be most excited is the New Orleans Saints, because they got the Eagles offensive coordinator that was really good last year.
Yeah.
So, and then also the Colts obviously are looking really good with the former offensive coordinator when the Eagles first went to the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. So they both got stuff to look forward to, I guess. So,
yeah, the ultimate thing for Eagles is this is now officially a concern for them, because if they can't fix their coordinating on the offense and start using the strengths that they have with Saquon in the running game, you're going to lose a lot of games. Stop trying to prove the internet wrong and just do what you're good at. If you're winning, you're winning. Who cares what people say? All right.
But I have one question though.
Yeah.
Do you think AJ Brown will get traded now?
I think there's a possibility if the Eagles get a good deal out of it. And like I said, there's a rumor that
second round pick.
The Steelers are eyeing.
I
think he's worth a first rounder.
I would try to start with the third to get down to the second.
Yeah, but I think that I've heard rumors that Steelers are eyeing him. If they do, that's really good for Steelers. And then Eagles, I mean, it's just the big ultimate thing with the Eagles is the offense coordinator's got to go if he does not win, if they lose again because of their offense. Because their defense was banged up in that game. So, like, Jalen Carter was out. Mitchell had to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So that did affect their defense, but at the same time, their offense had no excuse. So yes, there's concern for the Eagles, but on the Giants side,
they have promise.
There's so much promise. If they had beat the Saints last week, I would actually put them as a possible playoff contending team right now.
Yeah.
Because their defense is looking good. Their defensive line is bringing so much pressure to the QBs. And then their offense now has a quarterback that can move around the pocket, make literally perfect passes to backup receivers against the Eagles' defense. And then you have Cam Scatabo, who's not afraid to get hit and knock you over. And he can take hits. And I said this.
The question, it's not a matter of if he can take the hits. Can you take the hit that he's going to give you?
And so the big thing about, I said this with Cam Scatabo before the Eagles drafted him. I said Giants could use a running back like him. Or any team should be eyeing this guy, because this guy, he might not be fast, but speed's not the only thing in the NFL. He can take hits. He can catch. He's a force to be reckoned with. And he and Jackson Dart have great chemistry together, and that's very important for an offense. And imagine if Malik Neighbors was still healthy. I would definitely put them as playoff contenders right now if Malik Neighbors was healthy. So Giants are definitely, next season, a team to be scared of, and this year potentially if they keep this up, especially if they beat the Broncos next week.
It also depends on if the Cowboys keep going on the trend they're on, and if say the Commanders start to fall apart a little bit with injuries.
Let's say 49ers fall apart, Cowboys, Commanders. If all these teams collapse, Bears, Vikings, they all collapse.
The Bears aren't even a team that I would be surprised if they
collapse. But I'm saying like if all these teams are,
it's like below. I'm doing the numbers now. So let's see. You got the Lions, Bucks, Packers, Rams, Eagles. That's 5 teams.
There's still 2 more left, and potentially, there's a chance this year.
Seahawks. Okay, here. Let's just say Seahawks for the sake of argument.
Sure. But I'm saying, there's a chance this year. If they had beat the Saints, I would say they have a better chance because that one game could affect towards the end of the season how they play. But next year, if everyone stays healthy, ooh, Cowboys might be the worst team next year in their division if they don't fix their all the
defense.
defense issues and all that, So yeah, but that's anything else you want to share about the Giants? Anything you are concerned about? Are you concerned that the Cowboys might be bottom of the division this year? Is that a concern for you right now? Actually, no, we'll talk about that later with the next game, I think. But yeah, those are
Sure.
takeaways from the Giants and the Eagles.
Now let's get to my least favorite game of the weekend, which was exciting. Don't get me wrong,
It's just you didn't want
but
it
I
to.
don't want it to be this exciting. The Panthers take down the Cowboys 30-27.
How about them Cowgirls?
Defense. Yes.
Well, Dak threw some behind the line passes, which affected those drives.
Those were well. The first one was a design play call. The second one was at least Greg Olson said he thinks he was trying to throw it at his feet without throwing it too low. That I don't know, but
I just think again, you can put up as like for example, Dak Prescott
stats
wise he played well.
Hold on. Let's get this. You say want to do? Let's
you
do
want to do
Panthers
Panthers first?
Let's
Yeah,
do Panthers first.
Sure,
Let's do Panthers first. So Bryce Young, had a solid game. Didn't have that many yards, but he didn't need to. He had 199 passing yards, but he had 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Ted McMillan, right?
Ted McMillan, and it was his first touchdown this season. He didn't get just 1, but 2. So I'm very happy for him, though.
Here's the thing about all these touchdowns, though. They were all wide open.
But I will say, the offensive strategy, the routes they did in those plays were so smart because what they did was...
It was so smart because the Cowboys defense can't cover.
But not even anyone with zone coverage would have failed that because what happens is a lot of these places, they make everybody look like they're going one way. Then all of a sudden, in between 2 players, comes out one guy going to another end. And all of a sudden, it's like too late to get to him.
That's because they literally run zone coverage 95% of the time.
Aside from Bryce Young, Rico Dowdle. Ooh, my gosh.
Yeah, fun fact, Jerry Jones,
Jerry Jones answers.
No. Hold on. No. Here's what I'm going to say. Jerry Jones may potentially have released one of the best edge rushers of this modern age, and also maybe the best running back of this modern age.
Jeez,
How about that?
Rico Dowdle, good grief, 2 back-to-back games with over 200 plus scrimmage yards.
Well, not even 200, like 230
plus
scrimmage
it's
yards.
Insane. It's like, who'd have thought that? I didn't. And so I think the big question is, are the Panthers good, or are they just playing well against bad defenses like Dolphins and Cowboys?
I am going to say that it's the latter for sure, which is the Cowboys defense, Dolphins defense. They're both not good.
They're both not good. And at the same time, Panthers almost came back to beat the Cardinals, so they could have had a better record right now.
But then they did get crushed by the Patriots.
They get crushed by Patriots. They kind of got crushed by Jaguars.
They demolished the Falcons.
So for me, it's kind of like I need to see them beat a actual good consistent team before I would actually say, yeah, they're good. I do think this, even though the defenses they beat aren't great, it does show promise for the future, especially if Rico Dowdle plays like that.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys' rushing defense was doing pretty well, and then Rico Dowdle just demolished.
Yeah, I know. We were improved, but then also Jerry Jones. What happened to our run defense that we were supposed to have? That you said,
their rushing defense was looking solid this year. This game was
until we played the super powered running back Rico Dowdle. Yeah. Oh wait, he was on our team, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, Javonte Williams has done well this year, though. You can't be
except for this game.
Except for this game, and they kept running with him. I was like, should you guys be throwing right now?
Yeah, no, literally. Okay, here, let's get to the Cowboys now.
Yeah.
So let's just do the quick numbers real quick. Prescott had 261 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes, 0 turnovers again.
George Pickens
168 yards and a touchdown.
It's basically what he had last year.
I finally beat him in fantasy this week. He was undefeated in our league until now, so feels good.
I mean, even if my team had done really well, you still had almost 170 points this week, so kind of hard to beat that.
Yep.
But
anyway,
he beats me 1 out of 10 times, and I'm fine with that.
Well, now it's 2 out of 12.
2 out of 12.
So anyway, yeah, our run game did 0.
Only 29 rushing yards.
29 rushing yards versus 200 rushing yards for the Panthers. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But then what we should have done, after the third quarter, because literally the run game had done nothing. Just abandon the run. I know it's a crazy idea, but abandon the run.
I will say this, though. The Cowboys' last drive, Dak did make mistakes. And
it wasn't mistakes. It was, well, the first one was a bad play call. Why are we throwing a screen pass to Javonte Williams? The second one was Dak didn't throw it low enough.
Yes. But again, it's like you can put up all the stats you want, just like Sam Darnold against the Buccaneers last week. But if you make
that wasn't his fault, except for the interception. That was the only thing he did wrong.
But that's the point, though. The point is that you can do everything right, but at the end of the game, you do something wrong that affects the game.
Here's the thing, Tony.
That's the issue. And that's why I hate this whole thing about stats.
Okay. Let's ignore the fact that Dak had so many stats. He put up points, right?
But it didn't matter because
Tony, it didn't matter because his defense is the worst in the league.
If Dak had gotten a touchdown on that drive, Seppi, it wouldn't have mattered.
Points given up per game. 30-second. Yards get up per game.
Yes, but Seppi, you would misunderstand. I'm saying if Dak had scored a touchdown that drive, they would have won the game.
Yeah, if Dak was a perfect NFL quarterback, they would have won the game. But he's not a perfect quarterback.
No
one's a perfect quarterback.
If Dak's a top 10 QB, he would have scored on that drive.
Again, play calling.
No.
And that I blame more play calling.
Audibles. You see a defense and you're like, okay, they're definitely watching for a screen pass. Audible. That's what Aaron Rodgers did. What Tom Brady did. What Peyton Manning did. All the great Drew Brees did. All the great quarterbacks, if they saw something on defense, they didn't like it. They called audibles.
So now you want to compare Dak to the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but when I do it for my reason, do you think it's stupid?
No, because you want to compare him to as a great quarterback. But when
I don't think he's a great NFL all-time quarterback. You're comparing him to all-time greats.
You want to the point is that great quarterbacks call audibles when they don't see something right. Great quarterbacks don't just throw short passes where the receivers make up for it.
Was that Jake Ferguson touchdown a short pass?
That was not. That's a wide open pass. There's a difference when you throw to someone deep when it's wide open versus in tight coverage and you get it spot on. And so my point is that Dak doesn't really throw those because Dak is
Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott, according to you.
Who?
Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Dak
right
Prescott.
Right now, yeah.
No, he's not.
So basically, yes, he is better right now. Well, actually, no, they're actually pretty similar because they both put up good numbers and then like to throw a pick in the end. Dak throws the low pass in the end that he should have just honestly He
was dirty. He was trying to dirt it, Tony. He literally was trying to dirt it.
It doesn't matter because that was a third down. You need to get a first down.
It was second down.
Or whatever. The point is that instead he should have just spun out and thrown it away like Mahomes does. That's all that I'm saying, Seppi, is that Dak is not going to look. But again, even with the Cowboys losing to Panthers, it doesn't surprise me. Just like it wouldn't surprise me if Cowboys beat a good team. What is
the reason the Cowboys lost to the Panthers? The reason. The number one reason.
There is not just one specific number one reason. Because
there is.
No,
it's
there's
very
not.
Clear.
No,
everybody knows it.
No.
The Cowboys defense is the worst in the league, and they
Cowboys
literally let the
defense
Panthers
is not good.
But
if Dak Prescott is going to throw
the field,
if Dak Prescott is going to make
all the
bad
time
plays,
off the clock,
it doesn't matter.
And then they won the game on a field goal.
If you are going to throw the ball, if you are a good quarterback, you will make a play to get your team score, even when your defense not doing well. So if Dak wants to be considered a top 10 QB right now, he's got to step up and he's got to score on a drive.
Dak is a top 10 quarterback, and you can't take him out.
If
you do, your whole top 10 QB list this week is going to be null and void and should be thrown into the garbage.
I want a quarterback when it matters most, he gets the job done. Dak on that drive needed to score, and he didn't. And that's why I said that Dak is not a top 10 QB realistically at the end of the year. Right now, he's top 10 QB, but by the end of the year, every year, he's never in my top 10. He might be like in the bubble, but he's never like in the actual like top 10 really ever. And that's the reason why I want Dak to be good because I like.
He is good.
He's not good because when it matters most, he doesn't play well. So for me, it's that when Dak makes it to like the NFC Championship, and it's because of him. I will give him the credit that's due.
Okay. Then I don't want to hear one word about Jalen Hurts ever again. It's not because of him that they make it to the Super Bowl.
When Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl, was it because Jalen Hurts played better than everybody else?
It was because their defense destroyed Patrick Mahomes.
Even if the defense didn't do well, Jalen Hurts was making the biggest plays.
Yeah, but the last time he did that in the Super Bowl, he lost because the defense couldn't hold
No. First of all, that was not a holding in that Super Bowl. But the second part is Jalen Hurts made mistakes in that game. In this game, he was basically perfect. He put in a perfect effort against the Chiefs, and I don't see Dak doing that in critical times. When Dak does, I will give him the praise that I will give him the praise that he deserves. But right now, he doesn't do that. I'm not a Dak hater. I want to see him do good, but I just don't see it yet. When
you're
he does,
you're a Dak hater because you refuse to admit that the defense is the worst in the league.
The defense is worse. It's one of the worst in the league.
It is the worst.
No, because
in every statistical category, they are the worst.
They're 32 or 30 or 29. They are
the highest ranking they have for one category is 29th, which is completion percentage, which is 71%.
But what I'm saying is that
in
the Panthers game, they could have won that game because if they had scored on that drive, but they didn't. That's the problem.
It'd be also Deron Bland, learn how to play coverage on 4th and 3. You don't go 8 yards back.
Okay, that was also really impressive throw by
That was not
Bryce Young.
That impressive
Did
of a
you
throw.
see how tight of a window that was with the linebacker that almost hit it?
Yeah, the linebacker almost hit it, but Deron Bland should have been there to hit it after that because he was way too far back. That was the worst coverage on 4th and 3 you could ever have.
I don't think you understand. Bryce Young threw that really quick, and he did start pursuing Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, he started pursuing because he was 5 yards away when he threw it.
Actually, that's a different game we're about to talk about. But I just honestly think, Seppi, that I don't blame Dak for everything in the game, but when it comes to the end,
Dak deserves the least amount of blame in that game out of any player on that team.
No, not the least amount. Defense gets the ultimate blame, but Dak is the next person to blame because he could have scored in that drive. Because he shouldn't have gone for those short passes. He should have called an audible.
I think that the play calling deserves the next blame for the game because
great quarterbacks
running the football.
Great quarterbacks can call audibles.
Yeah, but Tony, you're the head coach is the one that calls the plays. He's the one in charge.
Yes, and the quarterback on the field can say,
Dak has audible before, Tony. Sometimes defense is disguised.
Rarely.
No, he does it a lot. Like that touchdown to George Pickens the other day. That was an audible.
Sure, but the audible towards the end of the game. Again, you can make all the right things, but if you make the mistakes at the end and then you lose, that's the part that matters.
That Josh Allen's a sucky quarterback then because he couldn't do it against the Patriots.
No, Josh Allen does make plays. It's called the problem is the only team that actually can also make plays is the Chiefs. So Josh Allen last year in the playoffs made plays, and then the Chiefs make
if
other
we're going
plays.
You know what? I want you to just forget the past. I want you to just focus on this season. What did Josh Allen do against the Patriots? He didn't do anything.
No, he didn't. He played a bad game.
Yeah, and Dak didn't play a bad game. It's just that he had one bad drive. One bad drive out of every drive that game, and you're going to blame him.
Yes, because the last drive is the most important drive. If that's
because
what
his
causes
defense
you to
is
lose.
the worst in the league, Tony. If he had a just below average defense, they would have won that game.
No,
100%.
Because the last drive is the most important. If the game's tied, you have the ball, and that's the drive you mess up, and you lose. Sorry, I don't care what your stats were. I don't give 2 cents what your stats were.
I'm not saying stats. He put up points. That's not stats. Those are points.
Yeah, but the points don't matter because the last drive he didn't put the points that they needed.
Okay, then Jalen Hurts' performance in the Super Bowl, 40 points against the Chiefs when they lost, didn't matter.
It didn't matter because he fumbled.
You thought he should have won MVP that game, even though we lost.
Huh?
100%.
I didn't say Jalen Hurts deserves MVP when they lost the Super Bowl. I didn't say that.
Okay, how about a lot of people were saying
a lot of people said I didn't say that.
He outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
No, because he fumbled. His stats are better than Mahomes, but he fumbled. He made a mistake. I'm not a stats person. I want people.
Tony, would you please stop it with your whole stats thing? It's not just about stats. It's about how you play the game.
It's how you end a game.
It's how you play the game and end the game.
End it.
And unfortunately,
play and end. They both come together. If Dak can play a game, can't end a game, that doesn't count. If he can, end the game.
Well, with 5 minutes left on the clock, I would expect to get the ball back, but we didn't get the ball back.
If there's 5 minutes left, you should never expect to get the ball back. That's why
you should against the Panthers.
No, because if the run game is so successful in the game, you should know the Panthers are going to milk that clock, and you should have been making better
Well,
plays.
then maybe the defense should have been playing better. That's all I'm saying. The defense
should have played better. Dak should play better on that last drive, which is how you end a game. Dak can't end games. And everyone agrees with me on that, Seppi, except for Cowboys fans. Everyone in the world agrees that Dak can't end games. You're the one of the very
I have
few
seen
people.
it so many times.
Not in important games. Never.
This game's important?
No. Well, this game just kind of exposed that Dak is still Dak when I watch this game.
Which is still a top 10 quarterback because his defense sucks.
No, I don't think he's top 10 right now, but at the end of the season, like
you can't project toward the end of the season because you don't know what's going to happen. You just assume what's going to happen, and that is.
If it rains in the rainforest for the past 30 years every day, is it going to rain the next day? Yes. If Dak every season has done this and then doesn't end games in the end, I'm going to expect that again. When Dak proves me wrong, I will be happy to admit that I was wrong. I'm not wrong right now. I'm not full of it. I'm not full of it. So yeah, those are takeaways from the Cowgirls Panthers game. All right, so now we have, which was a pretty good game, even though the score makes it look a little different. You had the Buccaneers beating the 49ers 30-19. Now, 49ers, we'll start off with you. I'm so sorry. Fred Warner out for the season, Nick Bosa out for the season, and your defense still played as the best they could. But Baker's just that good. Mac Jones, he threw 2 picks. He did have a sloppy game, but then again, the offense is also really banged up. He did have 340 pass yards, but again, the 2 picks really had a huge effect in that game. Christian McCaffrey doing a lot of stuff. 50 rush yards, 50 receiving yards, a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne had another good game with 142 passing yards again, well, receiving yards. So the big thing for me about the 49ers is they're fighting so hard to stay in the race. And they can stay in the race, but they need to get some people back, at least offensively. Because I think Robert Saleh, with his defensive strategy,
here's the
they
thing,
can keep their defense average, but their offense needs to get healthy.
The defense is not going to get anybody back this year. Let's just put it that way.
Well, they're not because they're both out. Bosa and Fred Warner out. So I think, me personally, before the trading or ends, they need to probably pick a couple people up for their defense before that ends. But the 49ers...
If they could get, Trey Hendrickson in a trade or something, that would probably be
if they can get someone... Even if you get a veteran player,
even though Trey Hendrickson did get hurt yesterday, so
yeah,
gotta keep
but
an eye out for that.
if you want to get a veteran player that also can help, because I think Robert Saleh is just that good at defense coordinating that he can keep their defense average, but their offense needs to be healthy enough so where their offense can make critical plays. George Kittle will be back in 2 weeks, so that is good for them. So that's the big thing for me is 49ers just need to get healthy. For defensively, they're not going to get any healthier. Offensively, they can. But
here's the thing:
whoever their whoever's their doctors and their team and such, fire them. All these people getting leg injuries. What leg workouts are you having them do? What are you doing that keeps hurting their legs and their knees, their ankles, their toes? What are they doing? What?
Ballet. Anyway, but yeah, for me, I don't think that 49ers are ever going to be fully healthy on offense this year.
Probably not.
Because
if 49ers were a complete healthy team right now, I would definitely say they're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, they definitely would be a top contender, but with all these injuries,
you can't.
They aren't gonna make it to the end of the season.
Well, they might make it to the playoffs, barely,
Maybe.
but they will get kicked out immediately. That's what will happen. They'll lose their first game. But hey, Kyle Shanahan, if they go to playoffs while their whole entire team's banged up, I think he could deserve head coach of the year. Even though we know he's probably gonna lose the first playoff game, you still have to give a shout out to a quarterback who can take his team to playoffs when all their best players are hurt. That is pretty impressive. Yeah. So I think he is right now in the race of head coach of the year, but I just don't think they're actually going to do much, even if they make the playoffs. On the Buccaneers side, top 4 wide receivers hurt, and Baker Mayfield and Bucky Irving out, and Baker Mayfield is still playing his A game. He's running the ball himself to get first downs when it's critical. He's still passing very well, throwing the ball directly to the receivers, all these backups, and Tez Johnson got his first touchdown, a sneaky draft pick that I said they picked up, and I think this game showed that.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Mike Evans is back next week because none of the other receivers will be, from what I heard from Adam Schefter.
They got a big matchup.
They have a big matchup. It's going to be a good game probably because Lions have banged up cornerbacks. Buccaneers have banged up wide receivers, so it'll bounce out. Rashad White did a good job. He had 65 yards. He got a touchdown. He also got some receiving yards. But But I think the big thing about Buccaneers is imagine them at full power, full strength. When all their wide receivers come back. Let's say by the time they make the playoffs, I think they'll be healthy. And imagine what that offense is going to be like. These wide receivers can take time to rest. They can put in the other guys, so they'll be fresh every time they go out there. And that's dangerous for defenses because they'll be tired. The receivers will be not tired. They'll be pumped, ready to go. That's why I think they're a Super Bowl contender in the NFC right now. And they have the MVP quarterback right now. Any quarterback that can do what Baker's doing right now with basically your top 4 wide receivers hurt and your running back hurt, that's MVP. That's most valuable player. MVP is about how valuable you are to the team. And Baker is definitely the most valuable player on any team right now. There is no question.
Yeah.
No question.
Anybody that says
Mahomes,
Patrick Mahomes.
Anyone says Patrick Mahomes, get out of here. The refs are helping them. 0 flags. We'll be talking about that later. I don't want to hear that. I do think Mahomes is a good quarterback, but Baker is on a whole nother level right now.
He's on a whole nother level.
Compared
to Patrick Mahomes. You hear that, guys?
Let's say Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Juju were all not playing, and Pacheco was hurt. I don't think the Chiefs would be 3-3 right now. I don't think that at all. I think they would be probably 1-4, 1-5 right now, actually. Maybe 2-4, 2-4 maybe. But they definitely would have lost last night if that was the case.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ultimately from the takeaway of 49ers Buccaneers, there's not much to talk about, but the fact that Baker's the MVP, without question right now, and the 49ers, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to make it that far this season.
What could have been.
What could have been, but probably won't be. So those are takeaways from the 49ers and Buccaneers game. And now, the refs are back at helping the Chiefs. They won 30-17. No flags. Dropped by Kelsey. The penalty on Jared Goff's touchdown was not a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even that the Lions were playing bad. Like, they were playing solid, and the refs just kept screwing them up. Their top 5 cornerbacks are out. And Jared Goff played a great game. Laporta as well. Laporta's starting to look good again these past 2 weeks. I have no concern about the Lions, and I think this was just the refs and the banged-up secondary the Lions have. Mahomes played an excellent game, 22 out of 32, 57 yards, 3 touchdowns with a rushing touchdown. And Mahomes, fun fact, is still number 1 in rushing yards on their team right now. Their running game looked a little better this game, but the big thing about the Chiefs is they're back, but not because they're necessarily good, but because the refs are helping them.
Yeah, so here's a fun fact. So the Chiefs have had a game before where they had 0 penalties. It was back in 2019, which I believe was Mahomes' first year starting.
I think so, yeah.
Against the Raiders. There's only one other team that's had 0 penalties in a game. You want to know what it is? It was the Steelers against the Eagles in 1940.
1940!
Where
85 years ago.
There were nowhere near as many rules as we have now.
You're still out of body class someone.
That there were penalties against the Chiefs that were not called.
So many, and it was ridiculous. Juju, okay, I'm pretty sure Branch is going to get suspended because he gave Juju a bloody nose. But Juju kept playing dirty, and the refs called nothing, okay? And this is what...
Crackbach in the back.
Yes. It's so ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I do believe Mahomes is still a good quarterback. But you got to make games fair, okay? The games have to be fair. Just because Taylor Swift's in the building doesn't mean you have to not call any penalties on the Chiefs, okay?
Yep.
Really? Refs? Really?
It's really bad.
It's really bad, and this is what annoys me is that the Chiefs could be Super Bowl... Chiefs shouldn't be Super Bowl contenders right now, the way I've seen them play. But when you have the refs helping, of course they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. And it annoys me a lot. Like, last night, I turned off the game. I didn't know about the fight till after because I was just like, refs, you suck. I'm not watching the rest of this. And Chiefs are probably going to go to playoffs. I just hope they don't win the division so that they have to face one of the tougher teams in the playoffs when they start.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that the Chiefs go against the right team, they will lose. The only teams that I don't want Chiefs playing are the Ravens and Bills. If the Bills...
Yes, they have proven they can't beat them.
Yeah, if the Bills can avoid the Chiefs in the playoffs, I think Bills could go to Super Bowl. But at the same time, you need the right team to play Chiefs. I think Aaron Rodgers, a veteran quarterback that knows this kind of game, could, with the defense like Steelers, could actually beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. I do believe that, actually. I think Aaron Rodgers could do that. Another team that I think that actually would have a good chance is the Patriots, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
I think Drake May, the way how clutch he is in their defense, they would be a team that could beat the Chiefs. The Colts, they're playing them later this year, so we'll see if they can play them.
Speaking of the Colts, let's reminisce back to, let's see, was it 2015? I forget. The Chiefs and the Colts first round
the playoff games? I loved Alex Smith and Andrew Luck game. I loved that game.
Yeah, but it was Chiefs blowing them out. Then the Colts come back to win the game. It was
a good game.
Very good.
Very good game.
Very good. I forget what year it was, but
I think it was the 2013 or 2014 season.
No, it was way after that.
It was? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was 2014, but it was in 2015, so that was in the playoffs, I think. I'm pretty sure. I was pretty young when that game happened.
Yeah, you were pretty young, but the Chiefs were pretty bad until, 2015.
Yeah, pretty sure. But anyways, so the ultimate takeaway from the Lions-Chiefs games, there's not much to talk about except the fact that the refs are back at helping the Chiefs, and that's not good. And I just hope teams play at a high level against the Chiefs, that even if the refs are playing bad, it won't matter because they're
here's another penalty that they gave the Lions last night that I noticed. As Jared Goff was talking to the referee, the play clock was winding down. Normally when somebody's talking to the referee about something that happened, they put more time on the play clock. This means more time on the play clock. But this time, the referee just let the clock run down while Jared Goff was talking to him. He threw a flag delay a game. I'm like...
And then they decided to go for the field goal instead.
It was really...
That was the drive where they called the penalty on Jared Goff earlier. So, yeah, it's just at the end of the day, that was refs helping Chiefs win.
No, that is blatant.
Completely obvious.
If you can't say anything about the NFL, that was blatant cheating.
I will say, Mahomes is still playing well, but they definitely would not have the record they have right now if it wasn't for the refs. And that's our takeaway from the Chiefs-Lions game.
All right, that wraps up our Week 6 NFL recap. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. There are certain teams that you think we should be worried about, or I should be worried about the Cowboys, but I probably should be. Let me know. Or let us know, more like. So share, comment, subscribe to the video. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and X. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Giuseppe.
I'm Antonio.
And this has been Dynamite Duo Sports.
Top 10 QBs. It's going to be an interesting one this week, y'all.
Yep.
Very interesting.
See ya.
See ya as well.